How did I get inside this tree, and how do hollow trees like this even exist? You could call this tree the anti-hero of the forest. This is the strangler fig, or the ficus tree. Some people might see this as a destroyer of the forest, but some people might see it as a savior. I'm gonna leave it up to you to see what you think. But this tree didn't always look like this giant. So the story begins when a passing creature in the canopies of the trees, like a bird or a monkey, takes a number 2, and it passes a seed. Whatever's up there has eaten a fig and passed a strangler fig seed. This seed then embeds itself into the tree and becomes a little bundle of leaves known as an epiphyte. Now note, an epiphyte is not a parasite. It's not actually taking anything from this original tree. All it's doing is soaking up the water from the humidity around it and nutrients from the debris around it. It's really just harmlessly growing on the branch of an original tree. The beginning of the end for the original The beginning of the end for the original tree starts when the epiphyte sends out an aerial root. This aerial root grows towards the ground looking for water and nutrients instead of sourcing them from the air like the original epiphyte was. Once that first aerial root hits the ground, boom, it's over. The epiphyte will send out a second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. All of these roots will be getting their nutrients and water right from the source, from the earth itself. They don't need to rely on the air anymore, and they can grow much faster. These aerial roots will then proliferate, and they'll grow long and strong, sometimes to the point where there's 2 long aerial roots, thick ones, joining, merging to become one as they go towards the ground. This original tree still has a few years to go before it becomes completely engulfed by the strangler fig, but let's see what happens a few decades on. So a few decades pass and the strangler fig hollows out the original tree. Now it doesn't do this by taking anything from the original tree. In fact, the strangler fig has such a dense canopy, such a dense foliage, that it outshades the original tree. The original tree dies from lack of sunlight. It rots over time, leaving the inside of the strangler fig looking like this. But imagine there's a thunderous storm coming in and you're a little critter that lives in this forest like a toucan or a kinkajou. This cavernous, hollowed out strangler fig isn't such a bad place to weather the wind and the rain. Not only shelter, but the strangler fig also provides nourishment in the form of figs to the critters like monkeys and birds that live in the forest. So you tell me, is this tree a friend or a foe of the forest?